Hi, it's Paul from howtoplaybassdotcom. Today we're going to learn I Wish by Stevie Wonder. Great bass line by Nate Watts. Often in the real world this is played in the key of E. Nate Watts, however, detunes his bass by half a step. So instead of G, D, A and E, his strings are often tuned to G flat, E flat, A flat and E flat. Now, if you're in a working band, your bandmates and your audience won't take too kindly to you taking 20 seconds before you play I Wish and 20 seconds after I Wish to detune and retune. So either you have to carry lots of guitars around with you and have a normal tuned 4 or 5 string, or you have to have a 5 string, or you have to have a detuned 4 string. The other alternative is to play this in E flat on a conventionally tuned 4 string, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do in this lesson. Before we get started with the lesson, if you're not a subscriber to my free monthly e-zine, click on the link underneath the video if you're watching on YouTube. Head over to my website and subscribe. It's the 3rd of October 2011 now. Later today I'm going to publish September's e-zine, and September's e-zine is going to feature I Wish. And what you'll find if you subscribe is you'll get a PDF with the notation and the tab in of what I'm teaching in the lesson, so I hope you learn the lesson better. And also you'll find that there's an exclusive page where you download the PDF where there'll also be a different version of the video with some extra features on which will help you learn through the tune. So do suggest, if you're interested, heading over and subscribing and going and watching this lesson on the exclusive page and using the PDF that you get as a download as a thank you for subscribing. There's also some other video lessons that you get as a thank you to subscribing, including signed, sealed, delivered if you're a Stevie fan, and also there are monthly lessons as well that are exclusive to subscribers. So go do that and then come back and let's go and look at the first section of the tune, which will be the basic 4-bar pattern. Okay, the tune starts out with synth bass and bass playing the very basic core of the riff in a very staccato 8th note fashion. I'm going to play it with a metronome. Metronome set to around 91 or 92. The original's about 104 or 105, something like that. So it's slowed down a little bit so you can hear what's going on. So let's play through these 4 bars. I've taken the metronome down to 92 beats per minute. The original tempo is around 105 beats per minute. I'll play through with the metronome and then we'll do the note by note. 2, 3, 4. And that E flat that we start out with, also the first note of the next section. Okay, so the first bar, we've got E flat at the 1st fret, the D string, G flat 2nd fret, the E string, A flat 4th fret of the E string, B flat 1st fret of the A string, back to A flat, the 4th fret of the E string, then C natural 3rd fret of the A string, D flat 4th fret of the A string, open D string, and that's the first bar. Then the second bar is like it's like a question answer kind of pattern. You've got E flat 1st fret of the D string, G flat 4th fret of the D string, A flat 1st fret of the G string, B flat 3rd fret of the G string, back to A flat at the 1st fret of the G string, and then drop down to C natural 3rd fret of the A string, D flat 4th fret of the A string, open D string again, D natural. So the whole pattern really slowly. And I really recommend learning this pattern thoroughly because it's the basis of the majority of the song. There's only a few bars that aren't built off that pattern. The chorus is built off the first bar and just repeats, and the verses are built off the 2-bar pattern, and then there's 4 bars in the verse where the pattern transcribes and goes up a tone, and there's a variation for the bass, but 90% of the song is built off this 2-bar phrase, probably more. So really get it nailed, really know the locations of the notes and get the feel. You might notice here I've got my strip of bath foam here. I said it was very staccato. I often use that when I need kind of a flat wound, very staccato sound. It really stops the notes ringing out and sustaining. One of the most effective effects pedals I've ever had. It cost me about 50p or 50 cents if you're watching in North America. Okay, let's move on to the actual verse, where this pattern is then developed with some swing 16th notes, and we've got the little 4-bar modulation at the end of the verse, which acts as either a pre-chorus or as a section before we go back to the verse. Okay, the verse is a 12-bar pattern. The first 8 bars are made up of variations of the 4 bars that we looked at in the previous section of the video, and then there's a 4-bar modulation where it does something different and something really interesting, and that helps lift the chords and the melody line before it then either comes back to the verse or moves on to the chorus. So I'll play with the metronome, then we'll talk through the notes. 3, 4. That E flat, first downbeat of the next section, whether that's verse or chorus. Okay, so the first 8 bars, as I've said, are repeats of the original 8 bars and original 4 bars. Remember, they were 8th note orientated. And what we've got is some subtle 16th notes coming in here. So the pattern's identical, but you throw some swing 16th notes in. So the first bar you could play like this. And all you're doing is doubling up the A flats on the 4th fret of the E string. Okay, another one you could do at the start of the pattern, you can go from E flat to the open E string and then to the G flat. And what you'll hear, if you do that, is that E, or it should theoretically we should call it an F flat, but the open E string should sound quite dissonant because it's effectively the major 7th against a minor chord, but it doesn't, because it doesn't have time to ring. And basically that's, you just throw some of those variations in. Another place where you can throw them in is the high A flat, so and you get one in there. But those first 8 bars, you just play the basic 4-bar pattern that we learnt in the first section of the video, and throw in some swing 16th notes. Now the last 4 bars where it modulates are really interesting. I'm going to go through them bar by bar. So the first bar is this. It's all 8th notes until the last bar. There's no swing 16th note. And that first bar is B flat and C, 1st and 3rd frets of the A string. Open D, back to B flat, back to C, again 1st and 3rd frets. And then you've got the open D again, and you've got E flat, 1st fret of the D string, E natural, 2nd fret of the D string. And the second bar is this. Very clever and great little chromatic climbing line. You've got F, E natural, F, G natural, A flat, G natural, A flat, A natural, and F is the 3rd fret of the D string, down to E natural, 2nd fret of the D string, back to F, G natural, open G string, A flat, the 1st fret of that G string, back to the open G string, back to A flat, the 1st fret, and then A natural, the 2nd fret of the G string. So those 2 bars together would be. And then the 3rd bar is a repeat of the first bar. So you've got B flat, C, open D, B flat, C, open D, E flat, E natural, note locations as for that first bar, and then the last bar, F, G natural, A flat, A natural, and then you've got a rake down from B flat, the D string, low B flat, and two more B flats. High B flat's the third fret of the G string, obviously the open D string. Low B flat's the first fret of the A string, and then you'd be on to F for the chorus or for another verse. So I'll play that 4-bar pattern one more time. Great little pattern. So that then takes us to the chorus. So let's go look at the chorus. The chorus is an 8-bar section. It's based on the very basic first pattern we looked at in the tune. That pattern with some simple variations. This section also uses the kind of the vamp underneath the horn section that repeats over and over for the last minute and a half of the tune, and Nate throws in some fills. I talk about that in the PDF if you subscribe to the monthly easy and get that. So I'll play through 4 bars or so of the chorus, and we'll talk through the variations to the basic line. 3, 4. Basically, it's just playing the same line as we've played already in the song in both the intro and the verse, and throwing in some 16th note variations or swing 16th note skips. The first one to put in is that one we did before, where you go from the E flat to the open E string and then to G flat at the second fret of the E string, and you just don't have time. The ear doesn't have time to discern that the pitch, and it acts as a dead note. The other one you could, the other obvious place to put it in is the A flat. So get 2 16th notes in there. And basically just throw in some of those swing 16th note variations in the chorus, and that combined with the basic pattern will take you through. Now there's one more section we need to look at. There's a 4-bar tag after the first chorus. Only appears there. It's around the 1 minute 10 mark of the tune. We'll look at that, and then we're done. A 4-bar tag after chorus 1. I'll play it through the metronome, then we'll talk through the notes. 3, 4. Maybe back into the riff there. So the notes of those that 4-bar tag. The first bar is, which is E flat, D flat, back to E flat. E flat's the first fret of the D string. D flat's the 4th fret of the A string, back to E flat. And then you've got on the swung 16th note of that bar, you've got an F natural, which is the 1st fret of the E string. That hammers to a G flat, then an A flat, 2nd and 4th frets of the E string, then a B flat. Then the last 8th note of that bar, you've got a C natural at the 3rd fret. You've got that phrase, which is C natural, D flat, C, 4th and 3rd frets of the A string, F and E flat, 3rd and 1st frets of the D string, and then in the last bar you've got that phrase, which is D flat to C, 6th and 5th frets of the G string, A flat to G flat, 6th and 4th frets of the D string. Then you've got this 16th note triplet, which is A flat, A natural, A flat, and finish on G flat. The triplet, 6, 7 and 6 of the D string, and finish on the 4th fret, the G flat, 4th fret of the D string. And throw that in, and then you'll be back to the verse and do the rest of the tune as we've looked at, and put the sections together, and you'll be able to play through the tune.